There we go. Well, welcome tonight on our regular Tuesday night Zoom. The thing that I really wanted to share tonight uh, is how the significance of our opportunity that we all have in our hands. Sometimes we really don't think about how large it is because we're just sparse. We're just like specks, all of us far apart. Even when we have a pretty big group in a particular area, uh, we're still not large. We're still not big, and so we we sometimes will not really understand the significance of the opportunity we have in our hands. Let me let me first start by saying this. Uh, when 7K first started, and it had a good concept, buy bullion at member direct pricing. Now, the opportunity for the average person for the first time in history to be able to actually accumulate gold and silver uh, at a budget that they could afford. So their choice was, well, first of all, we give them an education because they certainly haven't been educated properly. Uh, they've been educated to what I call been brainwashed. They've been brainwashed into putting their money into 401ks, IRAs, mutual funds, stocks, all that other junk, and thinking they're going to have a secure retirement when they retire, but it's a lie, and it always has been. But what wealthy people do is accumulate assets. They accumulate assets. And asset accumulation is how you get more and more wealthy. And even if it's a little at a time. But see, assets can't lose money. They can't go down to zero. That stock, it can go down to zero. You know, I have an MBA, and I thought I knew, young out of school, going into service, doing my military obligation, and I thought I was going to do things right, tucking away. I even started early, tucking away, 10, 15, 20%, uh, uh, waiting to buy a home. I was already married. We got married before I finished my chemical engineering degree. So we were married in marriage student apartments at LSU, and then went on and got my graduate degree. But tucking away money. And I remember, when I started investing early, and after we got out of school, of course, because we didn't hock up to our ears with National Defense Loan to go to school. But I remember built up a great little nest egg after a few years of investing. And some of you might remember it. If you don't, you can just go back in history. But I wanted, not speculative stocks. I wanted good stocks. And I always try to follow the advice that you read and all the financial advisors and all that kind of stuff. And I ended up having 1,000 shares of Pan Am, 1,000 shares of Pan Am. That took a while. I mean, I was just the first lieutenant in the Army and married to boot. But that sucker went bankrupt on me. And you know what I had when it went bankrupt, when those 1,000 shares? I didn't even have the paper. I had zero. And see, that's what stocks are. They go up, they go down, and you do a 40-year analysis of the stock market. I mean, you would be one of the very fortunate few that, let's say, time the market right without even knowing it. But you go through ups, downs, slowdowns, bankruptcies, reorganizations, all this kind of stuff, you basically just end up with a little more than what you put in. I mean, that's the truth. And then it's not gaining value because we know that as the government prints money, as it spends more and prints more, we know it dilutes what we have. And so we learned, at least those of us in 7K have learned the dilution effect. That's the real destroyer of what we can buy with cash or those paper equivalents. Well, gold and silver is an asset like property. That's why you want to own paid up property, because all you're obligated to do is pay the taxes on it, and it'll still be yours. And so you got to make sure if you get a whole bunch of property and you're just so property overweighted in your asset. So just like they do teach you the right principles, diversification. Now, I don't have 100% gold and silver and 100%, property, just assets. We have paid up property. We have some rental property, still got one rental property left. We got gold and silver. We got art. We got collectibles. So we're pretty diversified. Okay. And gold and silver, though, you can turn into currency pretty quickly. Boy, you can turn into currency pretty quickly. Numismatic collectibles, you don't want to turn that into currency pretty quickly. You want to be able to get the maximum price for it. So that's not something you're not going to, like your art. You don't want to have a fire sale on your valuable art collection or valuable ceramic collection. You want, or like antiques, if you have antiques, you don't have a fire sale. You want to be able to shop that, get the maximum value for it. But that's what we do. Well, what does this mean with what I'm talking about with 7K being 3.5 years old? 7K started with that concept of being able to truly let a person, regardless of their income status, to start protecting their wealth, get that real money, that real asset, that the bullion, the silver eagles, the gold eagles, the maple leaves. That's bullion, okay? And get that asset because you're less likely to spend that. If you got money in your savings account, you got to have some money. You got to have the emergency fund. I agree with that. But that stock fund, you typically never want to go in there and sell it. That's why you have it in stocks, or they teach you to do that. Well, gold and silver, let me tell you, I mean, this is pretty easy. It's very fungible. Fungible meaning you can turn it into cash if you want it pretty easily. It's not hard. Okay. Even if you wanted to take a beating on it and take it to a pawn shop, and you're going to take a beating on it. Okay. But you don't have to, because 7K buys it back from you at the highest price in the marketplace. And that's a fact. Okay. So, but you're not going to tend to spend this. You're not going to tend to go to it like you would cash or something else, or like you would a stock or bond. So that really creates that savings for you. But this is the best of all of them, because guess what? It can never go to zero, ever. Even if your house caught on fire and you stored it in your safe and it melted into just a ball of silver, you got money. Because that's, the eagle has a premium on it, but a generic coin is pretty close to that ball of silver price. Okay, that's a generic round, they call them. Okay, but so that was a concept that 7K started with, and the Amazon Sam's model be a member. I'm going to let you do that. Nobody makes a profit off of any of that. And we made commissions off membership sales. Okay. But there's no residual. That was very much like the business that we did back in the 90s, except we had a vice versa concept. Our gold and silver was the highest price on the marketplace, and then you could earn money. And then we said, then it's free or you earned it. Okay. But here, 7K did it the opposite way. Okay. They're going to give you a year's membership that you can actually acquire wealth and then learn about it. Learning about it's the important part. But it had no residual. So what did they do? They started with a residual product, and it was just a basic MS-70 generic. And if you look at the story, the $1.2 million mistake, that's real. That's real. And the coins in it are real. And that was based on people buying it at the retail price of 7K if you spent a little less than $40,000. So therefore, we started with that MS-70, but over just a very short period of time, they've evolved into something that's much more powerful. Not only have we become one of the largest dealers of precious metals, in fact, we're larger than many of those that I used to buy from. And there wasn't a place in between. I've shared that I bought from Kitco, I bought from JM Bullion, I bought from goldsilver.com. There's a few others, but those are the real trusted ones that I dealt with. But 7K has moved to what we call that unique position in networking or a direct sales company of having unique exclusive products. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to what I'm saying because it's so important of what kind of opportunity you and generations from now have with this company. You know, they moved up to first getting that just generic eagle, but it had the NGC and 7K label on it, but that was a generic 7K MS-70 eagle. It was just generic. Okay, the only thing special about this particular coin is 7K logo married with the NGC logo. Now that's pretty, to us in 7K, believe me, that's special. And that's going to be very special for those of us that have these coins in the future, because there aren't that many of those out there. Okay. And so that's a kind of a special coin in, as you look down the road. But then 7K evolved and did something that the marketplace didn't even know about, and created a subset of subsets, and that's beautiful. That's what creates value. And we moved to our series where we not only have the 7K logo, but we have the NGC logo. But now this is the California coin, and a lot of people say, "Well, that's just a label." Oh yeah. Well, so is the first strike. So is the first day of issue. Those are just labels. But let me tell you, if you've got the MS-70 first strike of every year since they made them, you got a very valuable subset, more valuable than just having a generic MS-70. That's the key. Or if you've got, you know, the first day issue set from every year, because see, there's only so many of them that are first day of issue or first strike that are made. There are the first release. See, knowing about the industry you're in. I'll give you another one, the West Point Mint. See, they They only have so many of them that are labeled that come out of West Point Mint, that are West Point Mint and first day of issue or first release. Now, those are a subset of a subset, and they're even more valuable if you got that collection. But they came up with a 50-state collection. This is California, the 6th state. But guess what? We can't hardly buy them from each other. I mean, all the 7Kers have learned the value of their coin. So they pretty much are, even when they need money, they release them very reluctantly to other people who want to fill up their set. Okay. But then something else significant happened just this past year in December, January. And a company that absolutely did not want to do, would just said, we'll never let you put your logo on with our logo, PCSG. There it is right there, ladies and gentlemen. PCSG and 7K. And PCSG came begging for business with 7K to get that logo on them. And 7K, we're not going to buy product from you anymore unless we can put our logo on, just like we do with NGC. Who won? Well, a lot of things are happening with NGC. So I think those of us that got a few of these coins have also got a pretty valuable, unique coin in the history of this company. And so we're starting to get, for those of us that got those Looney Tune coins on that special coin drop, and I did a little video summary of that. And so if you haven't seen that, make sure you go to my YouTube and you get that, because you'll see real value. Because I did my research on that before they even did the coin drop, because I knew they were going to have those coins on a coin drop. And from the Canadian Mint, when they put those coins, those Looney Tune coins on the marketplace in 2015, they were $189.95 Canadian. And at a 0.72 exchange rate, that works out to be about $137 each. They coin dropped them to you and me and put points on them and had them for $99. Now, they were available in the aftermarket, and the cheapest price I could find on those suckers was $169, but they only had a few. Next cheapest price was $179.95 plus shipping. And then the next cheapest price I could find was $250. We got them for $99. And then we can get a whole set. They had that much buying power with the Canadian Mint. Of course, we're open in Canada now, so that might give you a little clue to things that are going to be coming. But then, they brought out an exclusive coin to 7K, a very unique coin, something that's never been done. And this, the camera doesn't do it justice. We call it the Lady Liberty coin. And for those of us that have the set, and we were able to pre-order these, and there's a limited amount. There won't ever be any more of these Proof 70s, where it has high relief on both sides from the CIT Mint, the only mint in the world that is capable of making these type of coins with their German technology in Liechtenstein. And so we are moving into what we call exclusive products. Now, if you know anything about the networking or direct sales industry, those companies that really make sustainable, distinguish themselves, set themselves up so nobody ever can compete with them, they end up having, exclusive products or some kind of exclusive deal that nobody else can really come into contact. So I just want you to start paying close attention in the next few months or year about exclusive arrangements, okay, where you get maybe we're going to have more exclusive products that only 7K has, that the whole rest of that big numismatic collecting market will be grappling at to get. That's a whole new marketplace. Or, of course, you could look at it, and I encourage everybody. I don't know, if you've got your May vault, but one of the things I tell people to do is when you get your May vault, make sure you read every single word on every single page. I find so many people, they don't even read it. They just get it and they just throw it aside. Wow. You're not treating this like big business. You got to treat this like you paid $500,000 for this franchise. What would you do if you'd paid $500,000, $50,000 for this franchise? You paid $499, and hopefully you did. If you didn't, go upgrade yourself, because you're cheating yourself out of the opportunity. You don't have enough tools. You don't have the right things to really build this business with. Just read Christine's story right there, okay? And you're going to have stories. Remember, I tell you, stories are what really sell. Facts tell. Stories sell. And you read little Brooke Stellies, the youngest bronze in our company. Brooke Stelly, 18 years old, Breaux Bridge, Louisiana. Heck, silver. She got that 100-ounce bar. She's a silver, y'all. That made Wayne gold. That's right. But she was the youngest bronze. She was the youngest copper. She was the youngest associate. Amazing. But you'll also, in this month's fall, you're going to get some, we rehash things, especially for those of you that haven't really done a good job in your buyer certification training, okay, about, which products to buy. And yeah, you can buy, you can do like I did, spend $30,000 in 1 month buying silver and gold products. Why? Because I don't want paper. I don't want paper in the bank. I want gold and silver. If I want assets, I want assets. I don't want to have paper. Paper dilutes. I got enough to pay my bills with. I don't have any debt. All I got to do is pay electricity, rent, water, insurance. Oh, that insurance kills you, doesn't it? Anyway, you're going to see lots of these fabulous coins that 7K were able to get the rest of everything that was available and made them available to us at exclusive prices. They were very unique. Understanding the value of your opportunity is very, very important. And we're so young yet. We're so young. We're going to be a multi-billion-dollar company. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy making an extra $20,000 every month. My neighbor says, well, ain't no such thing as extra. Well, I don't know. I guess I could spend $20,000 a month, but I'd be buying gold and silver with it. I just don't go throwing it out the window, I mean, we have a comfortable life. We enjoy it. We don't lack for anything. And we're looking to build a generational wealth for our children and our grandchildren. And I'm looking to help leaders obtain what I obtained if they have. And you don't have to be young. You don't have to be. I mean, you could be old and you just didn't. Old meaning old like me. I mean, let's say you've retired. You've worked your 40-year life, and you're in your 70s too. But you just don't have it that good. In fact, you worry. you have some worries. Well, get a little fire on your belly. Get one more good run left in you, and you do that. You go out and you go out and do this. I mean, you actually physically treat it like a business, and you get yourself to go to work, because we're only 3.5 years old. When this company is 10 years old, everybody's going to look back, and because our seamless comp plan, and what I mean by seamless comp plan, that infinite levels on the left, infinite levels on the right, doesn't matter where you're at in this business. But I'm going to explain it to you. In our group, we now have an associate in Canada. I was fortunate enough to talk with a person that enrolled them, and they were in San Antonio, and they're in Wayne's group. And so here we went through the part of, by the way, if you don't know, you click on that little flag up there when you go to your website. You click on that flag, or that little American flag, and then it'll come up and you have choice of countries. I'll show you that in a second here. And because that's the other teaching point that I wanted to make here today, that we enrolled a person in San Antonio, enrolled a person in Canada with his Canadian address, Canadian information on the Canadian website, got their username and website. Now, I want y'all to know the website is universal around the world. And it doesn't matter if it's caps or a website is all lowercase. And you do not use ampersands or symbols in that website, or spaces, because the computer will change it if you put a space in, and you really won't know what your website name is, because it substitutes it, okay? And because it doesn't recognize space. So you have your username, and we teach, keep it as short as possible, and something you always remember. Use your initials, use your name and a number, use your name and your birthday, use your name and your graduation date, use your name and your age you joined, whatever, you know. But use something that's very similar, 7kmetals.com / that username is your website name. That is your unique ID. Nobody else has it in the whole world, because they can go to your website in China. They can go to your website in Germany, and they can enroll when we're open in Germany. Now, they can enroll right now if they have a U.S. address. Yeah, they can be in Germany and enroll with a U.S. address. That's pretty cool. Well, what happened is we enrolled them on a Canadian platform. So they have a Canadian website. And so as soon as they enroll, immediately right after, they sponsored 2 people back in the United States. So that's kind of what I call the ping pong effect. Okay. And we're going to ping pong around the whole world just like that. And they became an associate almost instantaneously after they signed up. Well, that's pretty cool, y'all. Just kind of think about this. We're just starting this effect. What happens when we open up in the UK? What happens when we open up in Australia? What happens when we open up in Mexico, New Zealand? What happens when we open up in Singapore, Japan, Taiwan, Germany, Italy? You know, it's just going to go ping-ponging around the world just like that. A seamless comp plan. Nothing else changed. The company will take care of all the compensation, changes, dollar, exchange rates. You and we never worry about that. They buy a membership, it's got points. And to you and me, points are dollars. To Canadians, points are dollars too. But theirs is different, because theirs is a Canadian dollar. If it was Singapore, Singapore dollars. If it, let's see, it's Australia. In South Africa, it's the rand. In Japan, it's the yen. You know, whenever we open in those countries, and so That is so powerful. That's the opportunity that we have. And never lose perspective of that. So just think, always remind yourself you paid $50,000 for this. You went out, got in hock up to your ears and got a loan. And and you have $1,000 overhead every month. Well, I'm just making it inflated because you only have $105. It's actually 95. Just like Christine said, she learned quick. She's never done network marketing. I'm talking about Christine in the May uh, uh, 2020 Vault report, Christine Campbell. And she's on a lot of calls that we make. She's there. She plugs in. She's learned fast, Christine Campbell. And she has that line right there. So she's learned it. And that's the way we look at the business. $499 to start your business, $95 overhead or $105 a month. You include all of it in there. And that's what you do to keep your lights on. And you have a chance to make $500 extra a week. And if yours is like mine, in that first 12 months, at the end of that first 12 months, that was it came every week, $500. Did it come $500 every week during that first 12 months? No. But I said at the end of that 12 months, it would, without fail, it just hit pop, 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 $500 every week. At the end of 24 months, 2 years, at that end, it was pop, 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 $1,000 every single solitary week without fail, or a little more. And then at the end of the third year, without fail, every single solitary week, $2,000 or more average. Well, that took 3 years. And here we are in 2020, and we're averaging over $20,000 a month. That's a little bit more than $2,000 a week, y'all. I mean, there's been quite a few weeks that Pamela and I brought in, $13,000 in 1 week. That's good enough for the whole month. Well, anyway, look, that same opportunity is available for every one of y'all and more. And, Wayne's real young in the company, and he's a gold already. And he's got his eyes set. And we want more people like Wayne in that group. You want them in your group, just like we were fortunate enough to have Wayne join our team. And you want them. And so what if it took you 3 years, 4 years, 5 years before you finally sponsored someone like Wayne or Brooke or Chris? Just think, you're going to be like Bruce Harris. You're going to start making automatic paychecks and then just get yourself a raise. It's that powerful. Look, let me share my screen real quick. I want to show y'all what I'm talking about, the website. Okay. And then we'll go and take away. Okay. Right up here, you see right here, you'll see that American flag. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter. Let me just go to the actual website instead of the login page. It doesn't matter if you go to login page or the actual website. Same thing. This is a U.S. Website. Now, what you do is you put your cursor over that, click on that, and up comes where you want to sign up somebody. So if you're going to sign up somebody in Canada, you don't have to go to Canada. You can do it right here in the United States, and you clicked on Canada. Okay, it brings up the Canadian platform, and then you just click Get Started. Okay, and then you click, of course, Premium. We don't do any of that other stuff unless they just want to be a member and buy. And that's okay. We'll sign them up. But we really talk to them a lot if they just want to do Plus, because economics pays for it to just go from here to here with all what you get. Okay, so you just go through the screen. But if you go through the screen, I'm going to just continue through the screen to show you. But I'd like everybody to do this yourself. And what you're going to see is they're going to sponsor on, my son. We're on his website. And so, that's what it's going to do. They're going to be here. And then if you look here, it says province. And so instead of states, it's got Canadian, Alberta, British Columbia, Manitoba, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, Northwest Territories, Nova Scotia. See there? Isn't that pretty neat? Okay. And so, we're gonna go back home. We're gonna abort that. And how do you abort that? Just like I did. You just go back home. See, I put that in there, but I'm not gonna log in. I want to go back to my connect. I want to go back to where? I want to go back to my American address. So if you do this, then pretty soon we're gonna have multiple countries here, y'all. That's exciting. We're gonna have multiple flags of different countries on that page. Okay, so always make sure you get your page back on the American flag. Okay, and then there also always know if you're logged in to your back office or if you're logged out. Right now, if it says log in, then we're logged out. We're on the public website. We're on the e-commerce site. Okay, and if we log in, then it will say log out. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. I'm not going to log into my son's. I'm going to log into mine, and we're going to log into mine, and then it's going to pull up. It's going to pull up your information, and it says log out. Now, one of the things people run into is they'll open up another tab, and then they'll go to somebody else's website to sign up somebody. Now we'll go to 7kmetals.com/Andy. Okay, I'm picking on you, Andy. We're going to go to Andy. Now see, right up here, y'all, it says 7kmetals.com/Andy, doesn't it? So you think you're on Andy's website to sign somebody up, but you're not, because computers remember, especially on a secure website. Right back here, I've got my back office open. This is secure. This is encrypted. It's hard to hack into this sucker. So guess what is happening? My computer is remembering this. And I don't care if I open up another window, open up another tab, but I'm going to show you I am not on Andy's website. It says that in the address, but I'm not on his website. You look here, it says welcome back DDD. It says log out instead of log in. If I was going to his website, it'd say log in. It says log out. This is how we're making mistakes and enrolling people on they're getting the wrong sponsor. And then we have to cancel it and redo it. So watch, make sure you're not on somebody else's website. And it only occurs basically when you're looking in your back office and you're trying to sign up somebody, or you just signed up somebody, and then they're signing up somebody, and you signed them up on your site, and then you go to sign them up on their site. You think you're in their site, but you're in your back office. And that's what happens a lot. So I want to encourage you to notice that difference. The other thing is it says welcome back right there, so you can't be on a public website. The other thing is you can scroll down to the bottom and you get to see whose site it is. Now it says I'm on Andy's site. So I'm going to say get started, right? I'm going to go to premium. I'm going to take it. I'm going to just do the same thing again. And it says, well, I'll be doggone. Look at this. It put me on Andy, even though I'm in my back office. Now, as long as I don't use auto, I know that's a fact. But here, let me tell you what. If I start filling in stuff, you see this autofill stuff, okay? And we go down here, and I use even if I use in a credit card information, a zip code or anything, an address. If I use me, now watch what happens, everybody. Uh-oh, look who got changed. It ain't Andy. It's me, because my back office is open. And my memory of my computer changed that whole enrollment form. So even when we thought we're on the right website, it's my computer, my smartphone, my device, when you got your back office open and not closed out. So how do you prevent this from happening? Well, real quick, over here, I log out. Now I'm not in my back office. Now I go over here. I go to Andy, 7kmetals.com/Andy. And now I can get started on Andy. And notice here it says log in, and I got United States up there. Okay. And so now I'm going to continue, and I'm just going to continue to make it go fast. And it's going to put me on Andy again. And so we start filling it out. But again, my computer and your computer may be different, but let's just say I'm Sue and I'm Sue Money, and my street address is 12111 Gold, and my city is Silver. Alabama is good, and now watch. If I start typing a postal code and I accidentally hit that, look what it just changed. My computer changed my city, my street, my everything. And look here, it even changed the name of my enrollment. Do not use autofill in filling out your enrollment form. That is the big key. Okay, now this person would be sponsored on Andy, whereas before, since I had a back office, they would have been sponsored on Bob. So see, you got these two things that your device that you just need to be careful with, because you're dealing with encrypted sites. Whenever that credit card information's there and you got autofill, it changes the whole form, just like any autofill form. Best thing is to turn off autofill when you're doing this, then you won't make the mistake. Okay, so I hope that was instructional for everyone to, and it means paying attention. And typically it's not big of a problem if you're not signing up multiple people one behind another. But if you're signing up people one behind another, this can happen pretty easily. Okay, I know I've even made a mistake myself, and I even know how to prevent it. Okay, so that was our instructional tip for the week. I hope you see the same type of opportunity I see for 7K for yourself and your family and your future teammates. It's not just you and your current team, it's your future teammates. And I hope you feel as strong as I do about it, that you're going to share it with everybody you know. And I know some people might think you're bugging them, but you're really helping them. And so just always remember, ask them, just do yourself a favor and do me a favor. Get enough information to make an informed business decision. Don't let preconceived ideas or thoughts or what we've been told or what we thought we knew affect a decision without getting information. Information's free, and I just want you to see the information. And I know you're intelligent enough. If you've got the right information and you opened up your mind, you'd probably see what I do, or even you'd see it bigger than I do. And then you're going to join me in 7K, and I'm sure of it. Thank you. See you on the beaches of the world, and have a blessed